What's up guys, it's Dalton here, back on Daltodity today for the 7th day of Daltodity's 12 Days of Christmas, where I'm going to show you guys how to make your very own Christmas stocking cap. Hats like these are very popular during the holidays, made very famous by one Saint Nick, who wears a bright red stocking hat with a furry white rim and ball. The hat I will be showing you how to make today is this one right here. As you can see, it is a bit longer than what you will usually see, and it is obviously a heathered gray. With what I show you today, you will be able to make yours whatever color or length you like. Alright, so with no further ado, let's go ahead and get started. For today's project, you will need some sort of fabric, as well as some sort of faux fur to use as the trim, a needle, and some thread. Before you can make your hat, you're going to need to make the pattern for it. Now, there's all sorts of templates that you can get online. All you have to do is search up Santa hat pattern or stocking hat pattern, and they will come up. However, I did not want mine to be like the usual one. I wanted it to be a bit longer like you see. So if you also want a longer hat, or you just want to be able to make your own pattern, I'm going to show you how. First, you need to measure your head and decide how long you want the hat to be. My head is about 23 inches around, but I wanted it to be a little bit bigger, and you have to leave room for the seam, so I'm going to bring that up to 25 inches. And I decided I want my hat to be about 27 inches tall. I decided on that length because that is about how long it needed to be to hang down by my shoulder. Now it is time to draw out the pattern for your hat. For this, you're going to need a large piece of paper. If you do not have a piece of paper big enough, you can simply tape a few sheets of regular printer paper together like I did here. Now you want to draw a triangle. Take your head measurement, which for me was 25 inches, and divide that by 2, which is, in my case, 12.5 inches. Draw a line on the bottom of your paper. Then, from the center of that measurement, measure up the length that you would like your hat to be. Mine is 27 inches. Then draw a point where that is. Now with some sort of straight edge, draw a line from the top point down to the bottom points of your hat. You now have a triangle. Then just round that bottom off a little bit and cut that out, and you are ready to go. Take whatever fabric you are using and fold it in half with the right side of the fabric touching each other. The side that is going to be the inside of the hat later on needs to be showing to you on the outside. Then go ahead and just put your pattern down onto that fabric and use some pins or some soup cans or something to keep it down, and cut the shape out of both pieces of fabric at the same time. Then once you are done with that, you need to sew the two long edges together. To do this, all you have to do is use a very simple running stitch. Nothing too complicated. It's very easy. When you're done, flip that inside out and you now have your hat. And it is time to add the fur along the trim and make the palm. You're going to need a 4-inch thick strip of fur. To know how long the strip needs to be, take the measurement from your hat earlier, mine was 25, and subtract 1 inch, which is 24 inches. So I need a 4-inch by 24-inch piece of fur. I just decided to make a 4x8 rectangle on some printer paper and trace that 3 times onto the back side of my fur. Now before you cut your fur, you want to flip it back over and make sure the fur is going in the same direction that you are cutting. This will give you the least amount of fur being shed or cut up during the process. Then flip your fur back over, and from the back side, cut out your shape. Now fold over one long edge of the fur and sew that down. This will cover up the ugly edge of the fur later on. Once you've done that, go ahead and fold your fur in half with the furry side facing inward and sew the ends together so that you have a round ring of fur. A ring of fur! Now place that ring of fur inside of your hat with the furry side touching the hat, about 1 inch away from the bottom of the hat. Then sew that in right along the edge. Now just flip that fur inside out and fold it over to the top side of the hat. You now have your fur ring around your hat. If you would like to, you can leave it just like this, or if you like, you can go ahead and sew it down again right along the edge there to keep it secure to the hat. Then you can just go ahead and pull any fur that got trapped under the thread, and you won't even be able to tell there's a seam there. You can stop here if you would like and just leave the tip plain, but I wanted to add a palm, just like most classic stocking hats have. To do this, it is actually fairly simple. Go ahead and lay your fur out again. Find something round and trace that has about a 4-inch diameter. Trace that onto your fur and cut that circle out. Then you're just going to sew all the edges of that circle together, just sort of zigzagging the fur until it all comes together like a little ball. You can leave this palm empty, or you can shove a little bit of stuffing inside to make it a little bit plushier. Now it is time to sew your palm onto the tip of your hat. Thread your needle and start from the inside of your hat. Run it through the tip of your hat and through the palm, then back into the tip, through the palm. Then, just like you're sewing a button onto a shirt, wrap the thread around that a few times and tie a knot. Now your palm is completely secure. Alright guys, and that is it. Your hat is done. You now have your very own Christmas stocking hat. Like I said, this is the 7th day of Daltodity's 12 days of Christmas. If you've not already, go back and watch the first 6 videos. We teach you lots of other great Christmassy things like how to make your very own snow globe, and ugly sweaters, and cookies, and lots of great stuff. And make sure you stay tuned because we will have 5 more videos still to come. Alright guys, thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow with another great Christmas video. Happy holidays, everyone!
The ring of fur!